Happy Easter, and welcome to Know Before You Go for Easter Sunday. I'm Father Scott Steinkerchner, and I want to say, but since this is Know Before You Go, it's Good Friday today, and I'm not going to use the A word yet. I don't know where you're going to be for Easter. There's such a rich amount of readings, and so much you could preach on and so many options. So I just want to tell you some background information and then what I'm going to be preaching on a wee bit. I'm in St. Patrick's Church in Junction City, Ohio, a place where one pastor for 4 churches, so helping him out some. It's a lovely church though, and you can see we're getting ready for Easter. We're not there yet. The flowers just got delivered and they're still in boxes, and they'll come tomorrow and decorate the place. So we have the vigil, and then we have Easter morning. And the vigil has all sorts of readings. Most places don't do all of the readings for Easter, in my experience. They drop some of them because there's so many, but they're lovely because they recount the history of God pulling his people in. It starts with, of course, Genesis, the creation story, but not the one with Adam and Eve and the sin in it. The first one, where God speaks and it is made and it is good. So we start with that beautiful vision of the Creator God creating this beautiful world. And then the second reading is the call of Abraham, where he doesn't sacrifice his son Isaac because God provides the sacrifice, which of course later we'll come to see is what he does with Jesus. But it's in that faithfulness of Abraham that we see God calling a chosen people of his own. And then the third reading, parting the Red Sea, right? The chosen people got hauled off into slavery in Egypt, went there looking for food and eventually got enslaved. And God saves them by parting the Red Sea so they can pass through on dry land. So that's the third one. And then we have 4 readings from prophets talking about God, as far as the people go and whatever they do, God has patience. 2 from Isaiah, God, I still love you, and I still call you back, and I will always be your God. And then we have 1 from Baruch and 1 from Ezekiel. Lovely readings about God's enduring love for us, no matter what. And then we have the epistle by Paul, where he says, don't you know, we were baptized into Christ's death, so we're baptized into his resurrection, as he can no longer die, so we are called to new life in Christ. And then the gospel for the vigil is from Matthew. And it's interesting because in Matthew's telling, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary go to the tomb early in the morning, and there's an earthquake because angels come down and roll that stone away when they're there. And then they tell them, you're looking for Jesus. He's not here. He has been raised. So go and tell his disciples that he will meet them in Galilee as he said. And as they go on their way, they, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, get to see Jesus in the flesh right there. But he tells them, go tell them they'll see me in Galilee. And that's where it ends. For Easter morning, that gospel is the same one, but it's one of the options. Another option would be John's take on it, where they're going to see Jesus there in Jerusalem, and Mary Magdalene goes back and tells those assembled, the disciples gathered together in a locked room. He's risen, and they can't believe it. So they run to see for themselves, and John gets there first, but waits for Peter, and they see the wrappings. And the beloved disciple, he understands. But Peter, being Peter, is just confused. The other option for Sunday morning for a gospel is the road to Emmaus. And there Jesus appears to them. What's been going, this crazy talk the women are saying he's raised. And they're trying to explain this to Jesus. And he carefully explains how this is how it had to be. And they prevail on him to have supper and stay with them the night. And in the breaking of the bread, they recognize him and he disappears. So all three of these Gospels have this sense of he's risen and somebody sees him, but nobody really understands. And it's just this first glimpse of faith, this first opening up of new possibilities that they can sense, but they can't really see yet and can't understand. And I think rather than preaching on that whole history of salvation, which is so lovely and beautiful and fills us with such hope, this year, I think I'm going to preach on that moment of when the resurrection just happened and the first few people come to know it. Because I think that's where we are as a society today. We know Jesus rose, but the whole world doesn't feel that A word yet, right? Do the people in Myanmar, oppressed as they are, and we don't even know it, do they feel the resurrection of Jesus? Do the people of Ukraine, does it really seem like the Lord is risen to them? Do the poor or the hopeless because of the snarl of politics in this country really believe that the Lord is resurrected and death has no say anymore? It seems like for a lot of us, death still has its hold on this world. And we want to proclaim that Christ has broken that. But have we even really believed that he broke it in our own lives? So I think this year, rather than to see the resurrection as a completion, to see the resurrection, that first moment where those readings take us, that first moment as a start of something new. And then we'll spend 50 days, the season of Easter up until Pentecost, we'll spend 50 days trying to say, do I believe it? What does that mean in my life? If Jesus is really risen and death really is passing, has no ultimate hold, then why am I still living like this? And why are you still living like that? And can't we live a better way? To be working that out for the next 50 days, I think, so that we'll really see him resurrected and everyone will know and everyone will be able to say that A word we're not saying yet. That's what we're really looking for. So, God bless your Easter day, your Easter joy, and more than that, God bless your Easter season. May we all come to live into this new life where death has no hold on us anymore. Wait for that word. God bless.